All right, it's finally time for Batman. Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another Genshin Impact video. For this video, we are going over Big Daddy Diluc, and we're gonna go over the best gear and artifacts for him, and my journey to get there, because it took a lot of testing to figure out exactly what the best is for this unit, because he's got a lot of facets to his kit on what you can do for max min and how you can do it. So let's go and jump into it. Alright, Diluc test 3, level 56. Beidou. Ah, the melt happens too fast. Yeah, it's tough. I did. Okay, good. Oh, why didn't? Just constantly getting overloads, but this doesn't have not applied this new net damage. Problem. We have Fizz now with this, so that'll be like 1400. That's fine. I don't like it. Your fizz goes way high too. I guess I'll try it with this, right? Okay. So if I do... The 20% bump or loss is not even that big. Alright. That's pretty good. So I think the best overall build for him is just flat raw attack, because you have too much synergy between white and another. So just raw attack. Bruh, 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 bruh. Okay, here we go. $20K! Yeah, there it is. I hit the 20K. There we go. Fuck. 3, okay. Got this out here. $22K. All right, not bad, not bad. 24.5. Nice, nice, nice. Not bad, not bad. All right, so I do it now and then I come back with it. I wonder if that counts. Hope it does. Damn, it was too short. You can't do it after. You have to do it before. We get it off? I don't know. So I tried out a bunch of different builds for Daddy Diluc, okay? And what I can tell you right now is what I have for total set is I got 42% crit rate and 78% crit damage. So nothing like crazy, okay? My rolls, my arts are not that great. They're okay, okay? And what I can tell you is this is the best possible mid-game set for Diluc, and this is what you should be building for. Attack, and crit rate, okay? Okay. So when I was going over Diluc, the best early game set for her initially is going to be the Berserker set initially and the Instructor set, okay? Instructor is an incredibly good set early game on Diluc. The reason I know it's an incredibly good set on Diluc is because the weapon I'm using right now is a Rain Slasher, which has an Elemental Mastery weapon. And what you actually do with Diluc is you can actually use weapons with Elemental Mastery in order to do large amounts of damage. I'll go over best weapons in just a bit, but the reason Instructor is so good is because you can act when Diluc uses his ultimate, he actually changes to a pyro-based attack. And because you're switching to a pyro-based attack, you can actually use an ice character, a water character, lightning character, whatever character you want, in order to get reaction damage on Diluc. And his damage actually is exceptionally strong. So I definitely recommend going with an Instructor build as your early game build or a Berserker build for attack damage and attack and crit. So your early game build, Instructor, is definitely the way to go in the very, very early game. Now, once you kind of like wanted to go away from that, more attack, so Sojourner pieces, double attack sets, those are great to go with, or a Berserker and attack set, like a Berserker Sojourner set, or a Berserker and Braver set. Now, I have tested out martial arts sets. I have tried to do with NAD builds with him, and what I can tell you is that you can boost your white damage, but what does happen when you're using the white damage is your E damage is nowhere near as good as your white damage. So you don't get enough out of it for the martial arts set to be a very good set. My personal thought process on this is that raw attack is just much better for Diluc. Bravery sets, the Joiner sets, as I said, very, very strong for him, and a Berserker set. If you want to go for the Berserker set and try to get that as well as an attack roll in the last piece, that could potentially work well as too. But you want about 40 to 50% crit on your Diluc and try to get as high crit damage as you possibly can on him in order to get the maximum potential damage. He is a super, super strong unit with those sets. Now, as you go toward the late game with Diluc, you definitely want to move toward a different kind of set, and the different set you want to move toward is going to be the very, very awesome set, which is called the Crimson Witch of the Flames. Now, Crimson Witch of the Flames gives you a 15% pyro damage bonus. It is possibly one of the best sets in the entire game for Diluc. It increases overload and burning damage by 40%. It increases vaporize and melt damage by 15%, giving you the bigger elemental reaction damage. So you can go with an elemental reaction kind of style for this to get a little bit more damage. So my current late game build for Diluc right now is severely lacking in stats, and I definitely need to upgrade more. But right now what we have is about 1500 attack on the Diluc. We only have about 26% crit rate, 71% crit damage, and over here you can see I'm going for more of a pyro damage build at 42% pyro damage. Now what this allows me to do is get the large amount of elemental reaction damage, but I don't really get a lot of white damage out of it. So there's a give and take with this build is that you definitely want to stick with more pyro damage, and because I'm limited by my weapon right now, because I only have a Rain Slasher and I don't have a large amount of attack from a weapon, you get a surge amount of attack there, I do fall off on attack a little bit. For overall damage pieces, what I have right now, I ended up in the video, I did not have this piece over here. I didn't have this piece. I ended up having like, I think it was like I think I had a really bad purple piece in the video, but it wasn't really good. But I'm trying to find more and more pieces right now that are really good. This piece I think was at like, I don't think I had any really big pieces. I think this one's at like plus 12 when I did the video. This is only at plus 12 right now, and of course I only have this at plus 16. So I'm very far off of where I need to be for an endgame set. As far as endgame attack pieces go, this is, well, I've been farming for days. I just keep getting shafted pieces. So I'm going toward the pyro damage pieces right here. The pyro damage set I have right here, this one's okay. I don't really have the best possible gear, and I really need to get a little bit more gear and try to like upgrade my sets more. But one of the things that it limits you in the game, of course, is artifact sets. And if you're trying to like go for a specific artifact set for different characters, you need to like, of course, build it out. And if you want to know where my resources have been going the last couple days, I've been going to Ningwang. So that showcase coming soon, by the way. So that'll be fun. But essentially, I've not been really focusing on Diluc in a while, and I've been working on other characters for different showcases for you guys because you've been asking for them specifically. I have a Chi-Chi build already set up for you. This one's not the right one, but I will be doing a Chi-Chi showcase too, and because of the requests we've been getting. I get a lot of requests for like characters like Changyang. It's a level 1 right now, and the amount of resources it takes to level up a character is very large, so sorry I can't do all of them at once. But I'm going toward this set, and I'm liking a lot of the set here, but I can tell you the endgame set for Crimson Witch of the Flames has give and take. For white damage, if you're going to be using Diluc out with white damage a large amount of the time, this set's not good. It's not a good set for you. This is actually a very bad set for a full white damage. But if you're trying to boost out your total fire damage and get a large amount of reaction damage, this is an exceptional set, especially with enemies with large amounts of elements in the field, etc. If you're fighting lots of slimes, a lot of things like that, this is a very, very good set. For white damage sets, you just strictly attack. That's definitely a better way to go. But for the best possible set for fire and react is Crimson Witch of the Plains. And I like the set a lot better because then I have a true fire character versus a true white damage character. For my white damage sets right now, I'm going basically for official for white damage, so I'm not really looking for a lot of other characters. So that's why I think that the Crimson Witch for me is a better set to go with. You can make your own decision on that and what you think is the best end game set for him. But of course, my arts are not like super top tier at the end game. I definitely need to get some better pieces. I'm missing crit damage pieces, etc. And because my stats are so low as far as the crit damage goes, I'm just not getting the pieces I need to get there. So I think overall, I just need to focus to get better attack, more LOL damage, and like increase my attack stats to get more damage on them. But we are getting some good damage out of these pieces. It's just, my level's a little bit lower, and we're not getting big surges like we need. But as far as comparable value goes, the Crimson Witch of the Flame set is definitely the best set for early and mid game, and you can see like other sets kind of outscale later game if you can get the right builds on them. But I find the Crimson Witch the best. For Diluc. Now, what I have done extensive testing on this character, and what I can say is that an elementally master build is extremely good. So one of the best weapons for him, in my opinion, for the 3-star weapon is going to be the Blood Tainted Great Sword. This weapon increases damage against any enemy that's going to be inflicted by Pyro or Electro. So what happens is that you actually can use your actual E ability to increase your overall damage that you're going to be dealing toward a target. And so you're doing 24% more with a 3-star weapon. That is a pretty good early game starter weapon to give yourself a very large bump against enemies. Now, as you move toward the mid game, you're trying to figure out different weapons you can do. The better free-to-play weapon that you can get, of course, is going to be the Prototype Animus. And the Prototype Animus increases your raw attack as well as there's a surge damage hit against enemies. Now, unfortunately, though, what I did notice about the Prototype Animus is the best players that I could find with Prototype Animus were actually not able to do as much damage as I was able to do with a Rain Slasher weapon. The highest damage I heard anyone actually hit with a Prototype Animus weapon was about 15,000 damage with comparable or greater than, actually much greater stats than me as well. So I would say that the Prototype Animus is a very, very strong and good free-to-play weapon. However, when you go to other 4-star weapons, I was exceptionally surprised to realize that the Rain Slasher is a top tier contender. Now, I would not say it is the best possible weapon because it does have some clunks to it. The ability to have a Hydro or Electro thing on there is actually kind of negatively beneficial to you because the best possible damage you can do against targets is going to be against Melt targets, as we see in this video. You're going to see a large amount of hits versus Melt, and Vaporized is pretty darn good, but Melt is far greater. So, having said that, another weapon that could be potentially good for him is the Serpent Spine, but the problem with the Serpent Spine being that you actually get more damage and take more damage at the same time, not really my favorite way to go. You can even try other weapons as well, but there is no perfect 4-star weapon for him. All the 4-star weapons are kind of just like pretty good, and they all have different failings and weaknesses. So there's 3 that I would definitely recommend to go for if you're going to be using Diluc. The first of which is going to be the Prototype Animus. If you do have it, if you want to craft it, great. It's a great craftable weapon. The second is going to be the Rain Slasher weapon. If you end up getting it, I definitely can recommend. As you see it in this video, it does great damage. I was very, very surprised that you were able to hit these values. And the final weapon, I don't even know if it's in the game yet, but the Black Cliff Slasher, that one seems cool. Is it? So there is a Royal Greatsword that you can also get with Diluc, which is also an interesting weapon to go for because it has a base attack ability as well as increases crit rate, and then you get more and more guaranteed crits. I'm not really a fan of this. I think the Prototype Animus is actually better and a much cheaper weapon to boot, so I wouldn't really recommend this weapon in particular. I would definitely recommend the Prototype Animus over this weapon. So prototype Animus, Rain Slasher, and then finally the Royal Weapon. I'd say the Royal Weapon, right? I don't even know if the Black Cliff Slasher is in the game. Is it in the game? The Royal Weapon's pretty good. Those 3 are the recommendations I would give you for Diluc as far as 4-star weapons. 5-star weapon, Skyward Pride is okay, but the Wolf's Gravestone is definitely the best possible weapon for him, 100%, no question. But alright guys, my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, of course, like and subscribe. This one took a long time to build because there's like so many different builds for Diluc, and like there's a lot of different ways to try it. And I'm also limited by the weapon I have, like, because I don't have. Many people ask like why I'm using Rain Slasher, and it's because, you know, I suffer from broke as fuck disease. It's a terrible disease. No, like honestly, like I don't have any weapon materials. I've been farming crystals every day for different things, and if I go to like a different weapon here, I can see I barely have any left. These ones I just got like in the last 2 days from weapon upgrade materials, and this is enough to get a weapon to like maybe plus 40, if that. So it's really not that many pieces, and I don't have a prototype Animus built. I can go get one, but I'm still trying to get more and more upgrade pieces to like test out different builds with him. But this is the only piece I actually do have, and I think the next weapon I'm gonna make, or the first weapon I'll make on this account, is gonna be the prototype Animus. Try that out on Diluc because I do want to go for a higher attack value on him and see how that goes, and I'll be able to move this over to like Beidou or whatnot on another character. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, if you did, of course, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. You have a great rest of your day. Peace.